Welcome back to the Jets Setter. I'm Tyson Rauch. It's been a long week in Jets Nation following a pathetic performance last weekend against the Raiders. If it could go wrong, it did go wrong. Offensive line was struggling, defense couldn't tackle anybody, Sanchez had a horrible pick, some questionable play calling, you name it, it happened. The Jets lost, and it's time to move on. Joe Namath had a variety of things to say about the Jets in terms of a lack of preparation and whatever else. I'm not really buying that. Every team throws a clunker in here and there. The Patriots blew a 21-point lead. Tom Brady threw 4 picks. I mean, teams are going to play bad games. It happens. So before you start throwing out the same old Jets anthems and everything else, take a deep breath, relax. It's one game. The next 2 games are going to be vital for the season. So let's give the Jets a chance to prove themselves before we start bashing them. This week they play the Ravens, which is a homecoming game for Rex Ryan, Bart Scott, Jim Leonard, Derek Mason, Dennis Thurman, a bunch of Jets, or Jets coaching staff. And it's going to be a tough game. In my eyes, the Ravens are almost the same exact team as the Jets, probably a little better. They do things a little better, they have a better defense, probably a better running game as well. But before we go into that, let's break down offense and defense. On offense, the Jets' biggest key is probably Nick Mangold. He's going to try to give it a go on Sunday night, which is great. If he doesn't go, Colin Baxter will play, which is going to be a huge concern as a Jets fan. Let's be honest, Haloti Ngata is going to probably eat Baxter alive and force the Jets to do a lot of things they don't want to do. If Mangold plays, it could give the Jets a chance to maybe establish the running game or whatever else. If I was the Jets, I would probably start out with the 2-minute offense, the hurry-up offense. Go 4 wide, spread the ball out, let Sanchez get in the rhythm, keep the Ravens defense off their toes, off balance, and get them tired, loosen them up, get them out of wins, just shake things up a little bit. Don't let Sanchez sit back there and get hit constantly. The offensive line with Baxter or even Mangold, Wayne Hunter's still struggling a little bit. You cannot let Sanchez keep taking these hits because he's getting pounded on. So I expect to see the Jets roll the pocket out, keep Sanchez and rolling him out, throw the ball a little bit on the run, maybe some quick slants, some quick screens. I can't see the running game doing exactly too much. One of the things I like to talk about, though, is LaDainian Tomlinson this week talked about how the plays were predictable, and that was based on information he received from other players. To me, that's insane, because you think the Jets would self-scout themselves and realize that teams are figuring out what they're doing. So if that is the case, that's pretty pathetic. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm hoping it's just the, excuse me, the lockout, the injuries to Brandon Moore in the preseason or whatever else. I'm hoping that the team's working the bugs out, and actually that the running game will come to fruition and work out. If they are being picked out by other teams, that's pretty sad. I mean, the play calling from Brian Schottenheimer has been somewhat predictable in my eyes. Hopefully that will change the next 2 weeks, because if not, the Jets are going to be in deep trouble. So as I said, go to the 2-minute offense, get everybody involved, get Santonio Holmes involved, who's a tremendous athlete. It's funny, if the Jets lose one game, everybody's saying Santonio Holmes is not an elite receiver. He is an elite receiver. He's a very good receiver. So is Plaxico, so is Mason. I mean, Dustin Keller's a tremendous target. It's a matter of getting the ball in the right position, calling the right plays, finding matchup nightmares, and expose them. They're not doing that right now for whatever reason. You can call it Sanchez getting pressured. You can call it the wrong play call. I don't care what you call it. Just call the right plays. Don't be so predictable. Spread it out and just try to take advantage of some things. The Ravens secondary is kind of banged up. So if you can't run the ball, throw it. Don't be scared. Put the game in Sanchez's hands. If you can't win it, you know what? At least go down with gunslinging it. Don't go down with any bullets in your pocket. Other than that, I would say you got to watch out for Terrell Suggs. You got to watch out for Ed Reed. I mean, the Ravens could bring it on defense. That's no secret. I mean, Terrell Suggs is a tremendous pass rusher. Ed Reed's a ball hawk. He doesn't really play conventional safety. He kind of roams around like Troy Polamalu does. So Sanchez has to be aware of him. So does Schottenheimer. You know what? They can be beat. You got to play a smart game plan. Keep them off balance. If you can't run the ball, pass it. Don't be scared to pass it. If you have to go down the field 5 times in a row, go down the field 5 times in a row. Don't be scared. In terms of defense, number one thing is Ray Rice. Stop Ray Rice. You got to control the edges, the outside linebackers, the safeties. You got to shed your blocks and get to the ball carrier. Last week against the Raiders was horrific. Absolutely embarrassing how Darren McFadden was just running up and down the field, or the 170-yard run, or however long it was. That's horrible. I mean, shed your blocks, contain, stop the running game. Put the ball in Joe Flacco's hands, just like the Jets are going to try to do with Sanchez. Make Flacco beat you. I mean, Anquan Bolden's a very good receiver, but I think Darrelle Revis can do a good job with him. Torrey Smith, the rookie sensation as of last week, I think Cromartie can hang with him because he has the same speed. I mean, Cromartie's banged up, which is a problem, but I think Kyle Wilson can hang in there. I think the Jets can somewhat control the passing game. It's the running game that's the key. The other thing to look out for is Ed Dixon, the tight end. Jets, in the past, have problems covering the tight end, so if they focus too much on Ray Rice or Anquan Bolden, Ed Dixon can do some things. Other than that, I'd like to see what Aaron Maven brings to the table. Aaron Maven was re-signed this past week. He's a speed rusher, which the Baltimore offensive line seems to be a little slow getting out of their technique. So maybe Maven can cause some things. I mean, Jamal Westerman, the designated pass rusher, has done some things. He's no sacks yet. Maybe Maven can cause a spark. He's very quick. Maybe he can get around the line, cause some damage, cause some havoc. It can't hurt to try it out. I mean, at this point, the Jets' pass rush is kind of suspect. So maybe he can give him a spark. Other than that, I think it's just stop the run, hit Flacco if you can, and see what happens. In terms of a game prediction, this is a tough one for me. In my heart, I'd like to see the Jets win this game. But at the end of the day, I think the Ravens are the same team as the Jets, but probably a little better, which I mentioned before. They're physical, they're tough, they're playing at home, Sunday night football, fired up crowd, and they want to, Rex Ryan's coming home, they want to show Rex how good they are. Ray Lewis is a prideful person. He's going to have these guys flying off the hinges, getting ready to make plays. So in my heart, I'm going to say 17-14 Jets, but in reality, I probably think it's going to be 16-13 Ravens, which I think that's probably what's going to happen, to be honest with you. Before I go, I just want to thank a couple people. I want to thank Jets Twit. Eric over at Jets Twit does a great job. Check him out at jetstwit.com. L7 Tailgate. Joe and those guys are a great time at the home games. It's a blast for tailgating. Fisticuffs Combat Gear. They got new shirts on a whole new clothing line coming out, so check them out. And I want to thank Joe Bastone, too, my producer, who deals with a lot of nonsense, which you have no idea about. And that's it. So enjoy the game Sunday night. Hopefully the Jets find a way to win it. If they don't, it could be a tough one because the Patriots next week is going to be a tough one as well. And that's it. Let's go Jets.